buddy.
Dude, what are you doing?
I'm getting ready.
Ready for what?
Well, in case we have like a camping trip or something, or if I get stranded in the middle of nowhere, I want to make sure I have all the necessities.
I don't think you're gonna get stranded anywhere anytime soon.
What makes you say that? Oh, well, you just never know.
Okay, well, let me help you out. Let me do you a solid, buddy.
Oh, well, thank you.
And close you up nice and snug there. So
Oh.
all right, have fun.
I think there's a bee in here. Justin!
Hello.
Hi.
What's on your face?
It's my mask.
Dude, COVID's over-ish.
Oh, okay.
On the 15th of June.
Well, then what?
Dude, you're vaccinated, you're fine.
Oh, that's right. I am vaccinated. I forgot. Got the second shot back on Sunday, and everything is going well. So, yay. Don't need that anymore. That's good.
It's 2 more shots than I have.
Yeah, well, as an essential employee.
Hey, nice shirt.
Oh, you think so? We're back to it. Again, no phone calls, no text messages are made.
Yeah, we'll roll into the office and we're like,
This just,
like the Spider-Man meme.
it happens.
Like, exactly. I mean, yours is a little worse for the wear, but...
And I don't understand. Like, we got these like the same day.
Yeah.
So is it my washer? Is it like
I don't know.
I just go hard?
Something. I mean, I look better in mine than you do in yours, but I mean, that's neither here nor there.
It's like time to I guess time we should probably put on another event so I can get a new shirt.
Yeah.
Maybe I
Stop slacking, CJ.
Yeah. Well, what are you gonna do? Well, we were supposed to. I mean, this was from November 2019.
Yeah.
When we did the first 8K, and you and the missus were out there, thankfully, as the road guards.
Yeah, we were roving patrols on our bikes.
Yeah, that was awesome. Like we had positive feedback about that. Like, oh, really appreciate that. From the one person who gave us a comment. No, plenty of people didn't. But I guess there was. I can't remember who it was. Oh my God, it's been that long. It was like, what was up with the guy on the bike? I'm like, what guy on the bike? And then kind of freaked somebody like, there was a guy on the bike. I'm like, I don't know. He didn't see that you were wearing ACVH stuff, but yeah.
I don't know if I was. I might have been, because that was before I was, in my.
Oh, before you were in cahoots with us.
Yeah.
Like that.
I was just like helping stuff out here and there.
And you were much appreciated.
Oh.
And we're glad you stuck around. For the most part.
Yeah, kind of. The pace, whatever.
I heard you just got a raise here. You got like 4% raise or something?
Yeah, 4% of nothing.
Hey, better than nothing.
I mean, it is nothing.
I do math for fun. So
well, thankfully you don't do it for work, because that would be bad.
Yes, my essential newsflash, kids. Not everyone uses math. Don't let your teachers fool you.
What do you mean? You're gonna tell me that Pythagorean theorem is not important?
Actually, what was it? God, no.
What is C squared?
A squared plus B squared equals C squared. There was something I saw on Facebook the other day. It was like, can you pass this? What?
I was trying to spell it out. PEMDAS.
Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally.
Hey, you're not supposed to talk to the
Oh, right, sorry.
The field hands. The associate producer.
The field hands.
Do you know better because it's my wife.
Wow. It was a post on Facebook about like, can you solve this one of these entrance exam questions from MIT back in 18 whatever. And so like I'm looking at it, and I actually drew it a while ago because I remembered it, not that the camera can see that at all, but it was like, the 16 one side, then A and B, and then they have X, and it's like, can you figure it out? I'm like, there's a way to figure this out. I know it.
It's a thing.
I just, been out of school for that long. And again, unlike my math teacher told me back then, no, I do not use math every day. Ugh. And we do have calculators in our pockets. Ugh. That was the thing.
We have
too.
supercomputers in our pockets.
That's what I'm saying. So.
They make food show up at your house.
Yeah. They do.
They do.
That is what we use our phones for. Oh, anyway, God. What?
Amazing.
Yeah. I don't.
Hell, they're recording us right now.
That's what we have, people. That's our budget. No, but like, I don't know how we got on the subject, but yeah, math sucks.
Yeah. So what doesn't suck though is the guest that we're gonna have.
This is all great, by the way.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm actually gonna leave this all in.
As you should. But yeah, like I was saying, what doesn't suck is our guest, one of our very own warfighters, did some really cool stuff, and he is on a great TV show that I've never seen. But CJ watches it religiously for whatever weird reason. So what's it called? Scared and Afraid or something?
Scared and Apprehensive.
That's what it was.
I think that's what it's called.
No, Naked and Afraid. Naked and Afraid. One of our warfighters, Joseph Nichter, was on the show. His episode airs.
It aired 2 days ago.
Yeah, on Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that because I don't have cable, so I haven't seen it. But CJ has, and so
really
we
cool.
actually got the opportunity to sit down with Joe and talk to him about preparations and all that kind of other cool stuff. And I learned a lot of neat things, and we picked up a new hobby in the process.
Yes, we did. So
we're going to talk to him about preparations and all the stuff that he did to get ready for the show and his personal experiences. And so we're going to do the neat editing trick where we go, and Joe's here. Damn it! It didn't work.
Okay, ready? So, Joe, thanks for being here. We are so happy to have you.
Yes, sir.
I'm happy to be here. Thank you.
Okay, good.
Yeah, it's fine. You don't have to lie.
He didn't. He didn't even have to look at notes to get that one right.
Yeah.
I love that. So, hey man, I'm a fan of the show because of my dad. My dad introduced me to the show a couple of years back, and I'm like, Dad, they blur out everything. So what's the? He's like, no, but sometimes. Okay, but no, but. Awesome show. I love the premise. I am clothed and afraid, so to have you be out there naked, seriously, and afraid, like I'm props, dude. Can't even imagine.
No, yeah, it's different.
Yeah.
I've never seen the show.
Oh, we can.
What's it about?
So, to any of our viewers that do not exactly know, Naked and Afraid is a show where, in your case, there was four of you out there. They are dumped in the middle of nowhere and are stripped. I mean, they're not forced to strip. I mean, they take off their own clothes, of course, and are kind of just left to the elements for 21 days, I believe it is. And they kind of just like, can you survive? It's pretty awesome.
It's
if
like
you
being
think
in
about
the
it.
field.
Kind of.
Yeah.
So a normal regular episode is male, female, and they pull up to different places, get out, strip down, and then they gotta wander off in the woods and find each other. And then there's that awkward moment of like, do I shake the hand or do we go into the hug and like, what did we talk about? And what witty thing can I come up with to say? But also prior to the show, you're given one item. And so you only get to pick one thing to take out there with you. And then your partner takes one thing. And they usually kind of arrange it so you both don't have like
The same thing.
the same thing. And so generally somebody has a blade, somebody has either a pot or a fire starter, or you have both of those and they give you a third if it's needed for the environment. And so yeah, and then they're like, here's a map. And so you need to go over here and not die for 21 days. And after 21 days, then you do the extraction, which is from there you hike out to somewhere of civilization where somebody can pick you up. And I didn't know it literally until I was there that they explained you're actually doing a tribe challenge. So it's, you do that, you and your partner are going to meet and you're going to go over here and you're going to be here for a while. At the same time, these two people are teaming up and they're going to be over here for a while. And then you guys have to survive on your own for a while. And at some point, you guys are going to merge into a tribe and finish the rest of the challenge. That's the plot. That's the thing. That's the challenge itself.
Okay, that is awesome. I understand on some of the episodes, like sometimes you're in the middle of a jungle, sometimes you're in a desert, sometimes you're in like a looks like a deserted island. Can you tell us where you were? As far as like, was it a desert? Was it a forest? Was it a?
Yeah, I was in the Sonoran Desert.
Okay,
So,
okay, great.
Arizona State, like right on the border.
Okay,
Southern border.
Okay, cool. The
Was it pretty hot down there at the time of year?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So
I'm
being naked was probably beneficial then, like
Yeah.
outside of the sunburn part, but hey.
You're such a big fan of the show. Never in my life am I going to want to go on to the show. I mean, people are not ready to see this anyway.
Not ready, don't want to. I mean, however you want to slice that.
Yeah,
Like,
whatever. What are you going to do? But no, thanks so much. Saw the episode on Sunday. Absolutely loved it. Wow. I thought you were tall before, but like, I don't know, somehow without clothes on, you look even more, what's the word? Grander?
I mean, let's not comment about his length while he's naked.
Skinnier.
Thank you. Yes.
There you go.
Like, I mean, it's just wow, but awesome show. It went a little longer than I thought, but
Yeah, it's usually an hour show,
Mhm.
but because it was a tribe challenge, and there's 4 of us instead of 2,
Mhm.
that it's already like it's a 21-day challenge, and so it's already a lot to cut that down into an hour
Mhm.
when you have 2 people. But when you have like a 4-person, there's 4 people to introduce storyline.
Right.
There's 2 different stories going on before they merge, and so I can't see doing it without it being like 2 hours.
Mhm.
So I think it worked out pretty well.
I was like, you saw the show. I mean, what were your thoughts about, like, I don't know.
Well, a lot of it was, in my mind, like, what do you do to prepare for it?
Ooh, like coming out with the good questions. Actually, I did a lot of weird stuff because I'm a fan of the show. Yeah, I did a lot of weird stuff. Didn't have anything to do with the show. But,
We're not talking about your personal life right now. What did you do to prepare for the show?
it's 2 sides of the same coin, though, bro.
Fair point. Fair point.
So, in my mind, like bugs are a thing, and I didn't know where I was going because originally. Like I went through the process and got picked up for the show before the pandemic happened and everything got shut down.
Mhm.
So originally they were like, get a passport. So I was going to go somewhere, and based on the interview and stuff, I was led to believe it was going to be a cold challenge because that's where I wanted to go. I'm like, give me something really hard and cold. Like I want to go out there. Send me to Antarctica or whatever. I'm a cold weather guy.
Yeah.
And so they're like, okay, get a passport. But the pandemic happened, and then I knew it was going to happen, and I didn't know when. They're like, just stay ready. And so I was, okay, well, if I'm going to go somewhere and it's going to be summer, there's going to be bugs. So I got off of sugar, anything sugar. I didn't want to go through caffeine withdrawals, so I got off of coffee. I don't recommend ever doing that.
Wow.
Yeah. So a lot of restricted diet. You get all the. Cause I'm figuring they're gonna like me because of all the sugar in the coffee that I drink and stuff like that. And so I try to get the sugars and the caffeine, anything that's gonna like I'm gonna get withdrawals or it's gonna attract attention that I don't want.
Mm-hmm.
That and then I ruck like a lot of miles a day just for the exercise because just thinking that somehow the stamina is going to come in handy. But I logged about probably 30 miles over the summer up in the Sequoias just trying to get my feet conditioned. Because I see that like if you can't walk, what you can't really do anything.
Right.
And so I had grown some pretty sausage thick meaty calluses on the bottom of my feet. And my strongest
So to be clear, the rucking you were doing up in the hills, you were rucking barefoot.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so, yeah, I mean, I rucked the neighborhood, I ruck Rocky Hill and stuff like that, but then when I was up in the Sequoias barefoot, I was either rucking or, so on the show, they have that bag, it's a canvas bag. In bushcraft, it's called a haversack, and like my daughter got me one for Father's Day last year, and so I took a 10-pound plate and put that in there. If I wasn't rucking, I had the haversack with a 10-pound plate, just so I had something, because
build that stamina.
Yeah, same thing. And then barefoot. So you want to overtrain, and I wanted to overtrain, and so I went in there most confident in my ability to walk, and they didn't help at all.
Really?
And so yeah, I mean, it's kind of obvious on the it was kind of obvious on the show. Like it was like ski pulling through the whole thing, and I don't have much of a poker face, so if I'm not happy, you can tell. And if I'm in pain, like I'm a stoic, but my face always shows it. So it was like walking on red hot shards of glass the entire time from day one. Day one, by the time we finished the insertion, I was like, if it's going to be like this the entire time, I'm not sure. Because if you can't walk, you're just going to sit there and starve to death.
Exactly.
And so found a way to make it work, obviously, but yeah, so that it was rough. And so you can prep and stuff, and I think that's what the show is, though, is like everybody has this idea of what it's going to be like. And like Mike Tyson says, you know, everybody's got a plan until they get punched in the face, and that's what the show
One of
is.
my favorite quotes.
Yeah, mine too. But that's what the show is. I think that's the attraction to the show, is because the show is a punch in the face. And some people know it and some people don't. And even if you know it's coming, you're still going to get punched in the face. They're not going to take. They never send anyone anywhere where it's going to be easy.
Exactly.
What's the fun in watching somebody have a good time?
Yeah.
And so we want to see them struggle and see if they can make it. We want to see them take a punch in the face and see how they handle it. And I think that's literally the premise of the show. And so yeah, it was a pretty good punch in the face. I wasn't ready for the feet thing.
Yeah.
And that was the hardest part, I think.
I can't even imagine, like, during the summertime here when I am barefoot, like from the pool to the kitchen. Oh God, like barefoot in Sequoia, barefoot in the.
I'm sweet, and that's the thing though, because I'm barefoot anyways. I live up at, I don't live in Three Rivers, but I up there a couple of times a week all year round, and I'm always barefoot. I keep chunkos in the car, in the truck, just in case I have to get out and go into a store or gas station, but they're just in there, and in case I need them, but I'm pretty much barefoot. So I'm used to that. That's more of a lifestyle thing. But I just doubled up on it for the show because I was like, I need some more serious calluses. And there was another guy on another episode who was like, he did a QA, and they were like, you know, what can you do? What's the best thing to do to get your feet ready for the challenge? And he was straight up, nothing. Nothing you do is going to work. And I was like, I call BS because look at these meaty calluses. And I was like, he was right. So yeah, lesson learned.
Oh, so the time that I got lost in land nav during boot, I mean, this takes it to a whole nother level. Now you say when you get dropped off, you are given a map, so you kind of have an idea of where you need to be going eventually.
Yeah, but it's okay. So that was one of my favorite things about the Army was land nav, and I was really good at it, and I loved it. And so watching the show, I'm like trying to like get a shot of a map so I can get a look, or Googling what the maps look like, because I'm like, are these maps to scale? Because and they're not. And so I'm like, okay, but so I know my pace count. So if I go my pace count from the insertion to for where we're going to camp, and then and I know the math, and I can figure out how far it is on the map, and say, well, is the rest of the map to scale? None of that worked. And so, plus, you couldn't really count anyways because the ground sucks. Like, the ground is lava. And so that...
I mean, you said you were in the desert, so...
Yeah. So
I can only imagine, like, you know, you said it was in the desert, so, like, that had to have been pretty rough, right? Like, because you were talking about, like, points of, like, where you were camping and stuff, and then, like, where you were going to be, where you were put in, and then where you guys were going to camp, like... As far as like being in the desert, like how are you guys getting shelter? In my mind, a desert is there's nothing there. It's like how are you building shelter? Are you just sleeping on the floor? Or
well, there's different kinds of desert. I mean, and that was when I went through the casting process. They were like, "Where do you want to go?" And I was like, "It's easier to tell you where I don't want to go. I don't want to go to the desert. I've been to Egypt, Israel, Kuwait, Qatar, and Iraq, and I own property in the Mojave where I go camping all the time. So I've been to the desert. I have all the T-shirts. I don't want to go to the desert. Like, send me somewhere cold.
T-shirts. Normally, you just end up with a farmer's tan.
Like, I'm working on. Oh my God.
Al Assad Air Base.
Yeah.
And so I was like, I don't want to go there. Send me somewhere fun. I want to do something different. I want to do something that takes a passport. And so they sent me the desert. They're like, oh, the desert. And I was like Arizona. Okay. And I'm thinking that's going to give me an advantage. No. because it's different than the Mojave Desert. It's different than all the deserts are different. And
Mm.
but yeah, so it wasn't flat and sandy. It was there's where we were at. There was mountains when like you saw in the show. I was here, and then when it was time to go meet people, we literally had to go up over a mountain
Right.
and
right.
down the other side. And
Mhm.
so and then where I don't know. The way they put the cameras is it's kind of limited, and things are usually kind of they kind of focus in on what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
But I was in almost basically a ravine. It was cliffy on both sides.
It kind of looked that way because I wasn't sure exactly where, but I was like, well, these guys could be filming in the middle of COS. I wouldn't know it because of camera angles and everything. But...
Yeah, and I'm a minimalist, so it was like I don't need. What do I need? What the basic four is food, water, fire, water, food, and shelter.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody's in a big hurry to let's get those things done. And so but there's a formula to it where like you need fire so you can boil water, but is the water going to rise when it rains? There's it's always situational. It's never going to be the same.
Mm.
And you see that people are like, there's the water, we're going to camp right next to it. Well, then it rains and then they're flooded out. And so I guess your environmental factors come into play.
Mm-hmm.
And so something like shelter to go, well, what do I need shelter for? Like from what? And the only thing I needed shelter from was the sun for certain parts of the day.
Mm-hmm.
And so which way it was easier to do things the way that I did.
Yeah.
And burning less, like I don't need a whole hut.
Yeah.
And so you say conserving the energy, and I'll just lay under this bush for a couple of days. It'll be fine.
I mean, the whole time I'm watching the show, I'm thinking, what was that, season 4, The Office, when Michael went into the Pennsylvania wilderness
Yeah.
for a couple hours, and I'm like, yeah, see, I'm more Michael Scott.
Right?
I'm not Joe.
This was not in the brochure.
I didn't sign up for any of this.
To be out there in the did the you were saying when they were talking and then the pandemic hit, so the application process was pretty lengthy, even with pre-pandemic.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Were you approached, or did you just put in an application to discovery.com or something?
Like all good stories, it started out with I had too much to drink, and like here, hold my beer. But I'm a like everybody else, I'm screaming at the TV, don't be such a sissy. Why are you running? Eat that thing. It's like my Super Bowl. I'm screaming at the TV the whole time. And then in a fit of rage, I grabbed my phone and I posted on, I think it was Facebook, and I'm all, for the love of all that is good and holy in this world, what do I have to do to get on this show? # Naked and Afraid. And then later on, they're like, hey, we took a look at your profile. Why don't you fill out an application?
Wow.
And I was like, oh.
So like it said you on your post, and like you said that, and then it was like, oh, Discovery said, or was it like the show commented on your post? Like,
They sent me a private message.
They came to you.
They
Yeah.
came to you. Okay,
Wow.
got it.
Because I tagged them, and
Mhm.
somebody who has that account saw the tag and was like, and I guess I'm gonna fill in the blanks because they were like, we saw your profile, so
Mhm.
you just look at like what everything I do, it's I'm in the woods or in the river.
Right, your social media is full of
That's it. That's all
nature.
I do.
Yeah.
And, well, because I run that care home,
Mhm,
and
mhm.
so and I live there, so everybody else gets to go home after work. And I live at work. I've lived at work for the last 16 years, and so it's a gilded cage, as they say.
Mhm, mhm.
And so my self-care is I can get out of here for 4 hours. I'm going to go up to 3 rivers and jump in the lake or go paddle boarding. Or I saw this new way to make a squirrel trap. I'm going to go up there and try it and see how it works.
Do you make squirrel wallets once you've captured the squirrels, or
What's that?
do you make squirrel wallets once you've captured them?
No, you just eat them. They're good. You eat them as quick as you can before the rangers come. You should probably cut that part out.
So again, thanks so much, Joe, for coming out and letting some of us know about what this show you were on. I'm really excited that one of our warfighters is going to be on something so awesome like an actual show about something that we kind of all have a little bit of experience on. But hey, I'm not.
I mean, we've all been in the field pooping in the woods. When Op 4 rolls up on you, and you're like, oh.
But when my hot chow was late, hey, someone's gonna hear it. Someone's gonna hear about it. But awesome! Can't wait to watch it again. So great. And Justin and I are definitely gonna take you up on that offer. We're gonna film an episode about making meat.
Awesome.
Awesome. Thanks so much, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Appreciate you. One more fake smile.
You should have been recording that.
I am.
That would have. Oh, yay! We got it! Yes! Thank God.
I didn't see her push the button.
She's a clever one. She's a clever
She
one.
could be sneaky.
So, oh,